At this moment, like I said, God has me reading at this time of the night. He has me reading about the birth of Jesus and John. But now I'm going to talk about the birth of John, who was supposed to be named Zachariah after his father. But the mother was like, no, the angel of the Lord says his name is John. So when they asked Mama Elizabeth, they were like, Elizabeth, what's going to be the name of the baby? And she was like, his name is John, because that's what she had been instructed by the angel of the Lord, that his name is going to be John and not Zachariah after his father. And you know what the people said? They said, no, that's impossible. The baby's name cannot be John. All of this is in the book of Luke, by the way. I love Luke because Luke records everything as it was, right? He doesn't skip things. So they were like, that's impossible. There's nobody in the family named John. How can the child's name be John? And they went against what she said, and they went to the husband. The husband was not speaking then. And they were like, okay, what's going to be the name of the baby? And he asked for something to write down, and they saw that the name truly was John. So, like, it got to me, like, some family members, when you give birth to a baby, they want to take the power on the authority of naming your child, to be like, can we name this child after a great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother Maria? No. If God says my child's name is going to be N, then my child's name is going to be N and not Maria. That's why there's a lot of family members and relatives who like to name kids after dead relatives who are living life of debauchery, wickedness, all kinds of lives. And they're like, oh, can we name the baby after the great-great-grandmother who was doing this? No. We're going to name the baby what the Lord says the baby's name is going to be, not what you think, not a family name. Because these people were asking, they said John, they were telling Elizabeth, the mother of John, they were like, no, this is not in the family name. This is really not in the family name. There's no one in the family named John. It does not mean, English is not Englishing. They should not have to be a person named John in the family in order for the parents to name the child John. All is needed is what God has instructed. And if God has instructed that the child's name is going to be John, then the child's name is going to be John and not Zachariah. You name the child what God has told you to name the child. Because I know a lot of you are with family members who want to take over the naming ceremony to name the child. No, you're going to name the child's name what God has told you to name the child. If the Lord says your child's name is Shinene, then your child's name is Shinene, not Shanik. Shinene. You are the parents. The parents have the power and the authority to name their children. Do not be deceived by people saying, name the child after this great-grandmother. No, I don't know how you were living your life. I don't know how the great-great-great-great-grandmother from the pit of hell was living her life. No, I'm going to name my child the name that God has given me. You understand? Allow people to name their children, not wanting to name their children, forcing it upon them. If their child's name is going to be Grace, then the child is going to be Grace. If the child's name is going to be Mercy, then the child's name is going to be Mercy. Stop controlling people and say, no, you need to name the child a Venek name. If you're South African, you understand what I mean. Venek is the South African languages, all of them. Name the child a Venek name. The child's name should be Ntabiseng and not Mary. If God says that the child's name is Mary and not Ntabiseng, I'm going to name my child Mary. You understand? So allow people to name their kids. Some people truly hear from God. If God says this is the name, the baby's name, allow the parents to name the baby. The Lord spoke to Elizabeth and Zachariah and said the baby's name is going to be John. And the relatives and the neighbors wanted to name the child Zachariah II. They said, no, our child's name is John. Name your kids. Don't allow anybody to name your kids for you. Name your kids. SELAH.